Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to History Through World Numismatics with me, the skipper, and Dale from Coin World UK. Good morning, good afternoon, and that shocked the hell out of me. Here we go. Both of us are under the weather. We're just kidding. We're going, gee, for a couple of 20-year-olds, we're looking really good. Okay. But
we're smashing.
Yeah. So I won't even ask you how you're feeling.
Man, I feel like I've got a stone in my shoe.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'd like to catch the number of that Mack truck that hit me today. But I see Euro Coin Hunt and Evil Arch Conservative are in the house, and EAC's put on a bunch of information on Braille, which is very cool.
I need that right now. Just hang on, just put my fingers on the screen.
Do you know we put those Braille bumps along the side of our highways. That way, when you're really too out of it, you put your hand out and you drive by Braille.
We just use the curb.
Or just the curb. Oh boy, we're doing great.
AAC, Euro Coin Hunt. Who else snuck in here? So how are you doing, Skipper, anyway?
Oh, well, I'll be a happy hypocrite and say I'm good and getting better. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good. Right, I've got some coins. I obviously haven't got the first coin yet. I'm waiting for the next season to come around. So let's see what we got with.
Yeah, we're going to start off with 1830. There's mine there, Dale. I found a Guernsey. I'm not sure the details on this. Double, whatever a double is.
Double is basically like a £1. They call them doubles. There, you get the two doubles. I think they do it in point currency as well. So you'd have like 8 doubles, and it's basically, I think that's one doubles. It's like pence.
It's like what?
It's like a pence.
Similar to pence. It's like a pence.
Yeah. Depending on when the coin was. I'll just check. Let me just check, because my brain is.
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of the expression double in coinage before.
Okay. Yeah, they use doubles. You get like 2 doubles. I think that's 2 pence. It's just the way they just do it over there. They're kind of strange people.
We got the bud files on board. Yeah, we're just discussing this Guernsey coin, one double.
Right. The value of the coin is 8 doubles, pronounced doob.
Doob?
Yeah, doob. Yeah, in Guernsey own language, a Guernese. The language is closely related to Norman French and is very similar to still spoken in parts of Normandy. 8 doubles was the equivalent to 1 penny, so 1 penny sterling. So back in 1959. So doubles is similar to a penny or whatever. So you had a 1 double in 1831.
That's very interesting. Yeah, my hippie brother used to use the expression doob all the time, but I don't think it meant anything about coins.
Yeah, we call them people are doobs for being silly.
He said smoking a doob or doobie. I don't know what the heck it was.
Oh, doobie. Oh, yes.
And there's another US, the 50 cent.
Oh, that's 50 cents.
Yeah, see? It says right at the bottom.
Look at that. Isn't that
Very
lovely?
cool coin. Wouldn't mind having that in my collection. EAC says 1 double equals 1 penny.
1 penny, yeah.
Very interesting. And what do you have for us?
I'm waiting for the next round.
You're going to wait
They're
for
gonna
the
be
next
same
one?
order. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's take a look at what went on during 1830 when that mintage came out. King William IV appointed an arbitrator to settle the questions regarding customs dues between the Canadas. Yes, Upper and Lower Canada had customs dues between each other, which is rather unusual.
Let's just take my face off this screen now. There we go. Okay. 1830 UK history. Yeah, they have their own language over there. I think it's the same as the Sark as well. They're going to have their same. Alrighty. The Yorkshire Museum opened in Yorkshire Philosophical Society in York. The first portion of Southend Pier was completed. It's a nice place, like Southend Pier. And unfortunately, King George IV dies, and is and is succeeded by his younger brother, which is King William IV. Oh, that's interesting. The first police officer to be killed on duty in the UK was Joseph Grantham of the Metropolitan Police Service in London. And the Beer House Act 1830 liberalises regulations on the brewing of the sale of beer by individuals. Do you know, that's about it, really. There's a few more bits that went on, but I ain't going to read up too many things because I want to go around again. And
Eaton Hodgkinson published his pioneering paper on the optimum cross-section for cast iron structural beams. We're starting getting into the iron.
Yep. Hey, Ferrari P45, Evil Arch Conservative. If I'm looking that way, it's because I'm reading off the chat that way. I can't see the chat this way. So.
Oh, that's fine.
Evil Arch, the 50-cent coin was a lot of money in that day. It most certainly was. I mean, we used to have 240 pennies to a pound. So a half a pound would have been a lot of money. August the 31st, Edwin Budding is granted United Kingdom patent for the lawnmower. Yeah, I was reading that as well. Eurocoin, the term double is also double as the Belgian Trappist beer.
Interesting.
Eaton Hodgkinson published his pioneering paper on the opium cross section of the cast iron structure beams. That's
hello, Robert.
Made the H beam, then I guess. Stephen H. Long, designer of the Long Truss wooden bridge. Robert Coins Adventures, Miss Southern Bow. The history of electric vehicles began in 1830. Yeah, I believe it was by as early as Tesla, I think.
Tesla was later on. Nikola Tesla was during the time of Edison, and so we're talking like the 1890s into the 1900s.
Yeah,
What we're talking about here is the early engines that were steam driven, getting into the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, it's 1830. We're at right now, Robert. I love politicians. This is happening in Canada. It's, Thomas Spring Rice, he was the Secretary of State for War and the Colonies. He wrote, if coming events should constrain the British legislature to interpose its supreme authority to appease the internal dissensions of the colony, it would then indeed become my duty to submit for the consideration of Parliament some modifications of the charters of the Canadas. Not, however, for introducing institutions inconsistent with monarchy, but to preserve and cement their connection with the mother country, adhering ever to the spirit of the British Constitution and confining within their legitimate bounds the rights and privileges of His Majesty's subjects. You wonder why the average Joe wouldn't listen to this crap.
I was enjoying that. Another country.
But it sure shows the flowery language. And, you know, a lot of the documents today, when you look at parliamentarians and the way they write things up, it hasn't changed that much.
Not really. They all go around the bloody mulberry bush until they get to a straight answer, do they?
Exactly. See, there you go. The first regular steam train passenger starts. See, I told you it was steam.
So how's Miss Sevenbow? Robert Coinage Adventures. The La Grande College, the University of North Alabama, begins operation, becoming the first publicly chartered college in Alabama. Webster Hayne debater Robert Y. Hayne of South Carolina debates the question of the states' rights versus federal authority with Daniel Webster of the Massachusetts in the United States Congress. 3rd of February, London Protocol establishes the full independence sovereignty of Greece from the Ottoman Empire in the final result of the Greek War of Independence. Dimebag Darren is at his mum's fixing his car. What, in 1830?
It's probably steam driven.
At the moment, it's push.
1830, the Chateau Louis in Quebec was burned.
Wow. I haven't used a fountain pen in years.
And 1830 was the year that York became Toronto.
Okay. That's actually really interesting.
William Lyon Mackenzie was actually elected the first mayor for the city of Toronto. Contrary to any previous records, he was not expelled from office.
Told you it's electric. Dimebag Darren's using electric in 1830. I was in his stream earlier and he wasn't there. Perhaps he's just running it. Who am I missing here? Ferrari.
Geez, what's with all the fires that year? The Book of Mormon's published in Palmyra, New York. And apparently EAC loves fountain pens.
And Martin's nuts about digging. Nice to see you, sir. How's it going? And he used to live in North York.
Hey, the Java War ended on March 28th of 1830. That's where they stopped fighting over their coffee.
Fighting over coffee?
Yeah, you know, cup of Java, cup of Joe.
Do you know, I've always thought cup of joe was just coffee. I never even thought it was coffee. To be honest,
Never heard of Java, Java, Java.
Nope. No. The only time I've ever heard of Java is from computers, like JavaScript and stuff.
Oh. You. Sometimes you come out that you're like a nerd's candy. You should be in a piñata.
Gonna hit me with a stick now.
Java. Okay, yeah. All right, Java.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. So the Java is another term for coffee.
Yes. We have taught you something.
Yes, I've learned something new. I always learn something new on here. I love it.
It's like boot and trunk and trainers and running shoes. Same old, same old.
See, next time we go around there, I've got it written down now. Look.
Yeah, you've learned something. Yeah.
The French invade Algeria. Charles X of France abdicates, the favourite of his grandson, the Duke de Bordeaux. Plans for the city of Chicago is there. Actually, do you know the church in Chicago? I'm not sure which one it was, but the main church, Chicago, Illinois, I think it is. So Chicago. But there's a stone in the church in Chicago. I can't remember which one, but it's made up of every stone in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Every stone in the world. Yeah. So in parts of it, it's got every stone, every type of stone in it.
That's cool. This thing that I just put up there, the United States Congress passed the Indian Removal Act, authorizing the president to negotiate with Native Americans in the United States for their removal from their ancestral homelands. There's a sensitive issue, even today.
I didn't realize. That means no more holidays at all.
You know, it's funny you're talking about food, Miss Southern Belle, because with March 17th coming up, all I can think about is corned beef and cabbage with boiled potatoes and lots of mustard. For those of you that drink it, a little bit of green beer.
Never tried green beer.
It's regular beer with food coloring in it.
Root beer or something like that.
And it doesn't go well with stout. I'll tell you right now. Don't put green food coloring in stout. It doesn't work. It's got to be a pale ale.
Regular beer with food color in it. Green beer.
Yeah.
She'd try it.
Yeah, Robert, you're right. During the 1830s, they used to actually lead parties on trains through the American West, shooting bison.
Yeah.
And literally, the piles of bison were just massive.
Yeah.
And the natives were actually going hungry because they killed millions and millions. When a herd of bison crossed the prairies in the 1830s, you couldn't see land. It was just this massive black covering.
Huge.
Literally millions and millions of them.
I heard about that where because when the natives used to hunt them, they used to hunt them to up to a certain number.
Yeah.
So they can replenish. But when the Westerns come in, they would shoot them like there's no tomorrow. As you said, we're going hungry.
Exactly.
And they almost wiped the species out.
Yeah.
I think there was a law passed that they couldn't shoot them, could they, in the end, or something?
Eventually, when it got to the point where they were almost extinct, but the natives got really innovative. I shouldn't call them the Aboriginals that are here. They really had a issue hunting. They used to lose a lot of their members, so they got innovative. And what they used to use is buffalo jumps. They would find a cliff. In fact, there's one in southern Alberta. It's called Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump, where they would herd the buffalo over to the cliff, and the buffalo would go over and they would die at the bottom of the cliff. But they weren't sacrificing their members of the tribe, and they ate everything. They used everything, yeah. And they didn't put the whole herd over it. Just what they needed.
Yeah. Well, that's what the natives. They just. That's what I'm saying. It's like they only killed what they needed for winter, for food, to storage, whatever they were using. Hide for the canvas. No, for the teepees and whatever they were using. Lady Braven. Because they would use bones for arrowheads, arrow stems, all sorts of stuff. Because if I remember rightly, the curve of the buffalo was a perfect shape for a bow. The way it was bent.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Because it was obviously flexible. I have to check that out. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. I'll have to read it again. Watch it again. Because obviously bone goes stiff rock when it's dried out. The Belgian provincial government, Brussels, declares the creation of the independent states of Belgium. Even so bad. October, the regeneration of Switzerland begins. Liberal constitutions, the adoption of the most. It's like cantons. Oh man. The 3 glorious days of the July Revolution in France begins. The Paris mob clashes with the National Guard over the period of 1,800 rioters and 300 soldiers will die. Oh, wow. That is just crazy.
And I'd never heard of that.
I bet you that was a knock-on effect over here as well. The Black Line begins a levy of the colonists in Tasmania, Australia, attempts to round up all the Aborigines onto Tasman Peninsula.
Oh, I'm starting to sense that we've got another Napoleon coming up here, because Charles X fled to the Chateau de Rambouillet. And with the revolution going on, I could see it. I just never knew the circumstances behind the Napoleon legacy.
But he wasn't quite as popular as Napoleon in the first.
Oh, not at all.
10,000 chests of opium is sold in China. The Polish November uprising begins in Warsaw against Russia rule. That sounds like history today, doesn't it?
Yeah, no kidding.
The
Morse code.
Skettle is the first known of currency emerged 5,000 years ago. The earliest known mint dates 650 to 600 BC in Asia Minor, were the elites of the Lydia and Ionia.
Yeah, I've seen some duplicates here.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great thing to be the very first passenger to be killed by a railway train. Guess he figured it couldn't be stopped on a dime. He fell out of the gene pool.
There's a lot of history coming up.
Tons. And the beauty of it today is that a lot of it is non-military action.
Yes.
And there's some, but
it's not overtaking everything.
I'm loving the fact that so much, of course, we're getting into the Industrial Revolution here now. So we're seeing inventions like the Morse code has come up. I mean, so we got the telegraph happening here.
A little fun fact about the Morse code. One of my best friend's mother is related to the guy who invented Morse code in a long distance way. I think it's like an uncle's son removed, something like that. But his mother, his great grandmother, is like a cousin or something. So he's kind of like a long distance relation to the guy. Something I can't remember his name. Something Morse, isn't it? Is related to the guy who invented Morse code.
I actually used to be able to do 18 words a minute by mouth.
Wow.
What if I could? I used to decipher Morse code, so I can still do it.
I thought you was being a human beatbox.
Yeah, it is kind of a beat, but I could do a song about that. Yeah, that's cool.
I used to know a little bit of Morse code. Don't know anything. Dot dash. Dot is because it goes up and it goes back down again, doesn't it? Basically, it goes dot.
Yeah, they say dots and dashes. It's actually dits and daws.
Yeah.
And like if you say S, did. Oh,
And
da
O is-
da da. So if you want to do SOS, did da 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 did.
Yeah, three dashes, three dots, three dashes, three dots.
Yeah, which is not what they used on the Titanic.
No, they use come quick, please.
Yeah, it's like CQD or some bloody thing.
Yeah, come quick, distress or something like
Yeah.
that. Or quick.
Well, they sure didn't come quick. The Carpathian just was slow.
And the actual talking about that, the reason there's another reason is that a lot of people didn't know what the SOS was.
True.
Because a lot of them still use the CQD.
Yeah.
It was only if you had Marconi on board you knew the SOS.
Charles Grey, second Earl Grey, becomes Earl Grey. I wonder if he invented the T. Becomes Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Ran so far away said the Titanic is diving in Morse. That's what you said. 23rd of September, the Dutch troops occupied Brussels.
Good gravy.
Cool.
I'm gonna disappear on the screen for a second here.
No!
No!
You're leaving me with all these.
I gotta get myself a hunk of paper because there's so much happening here.
I know, that's what I've got here.
And so much good information.
Yeah, I'll lend you some. Here you go. I'll pass it through the screen.
You gotta keep track of everything.
You go skip. I'll pass it down, ready?
There we go.
He's got it now, look. How cool is that? Hold your piece of paper up, please, Skip. I'll just pass you some. Dash, 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 dash. is hello. October General Trade Union newspaper publishing in Amsterdam. Lady Braven, I wonder if you have yeah, Comedian Mint. There's lots and lots coming out today.
Lots and lots.
Pretty evens at the moment, I think. Okay. Does anybody in the chat have any 1831 coins for argument's sake? Put yes in the chat if you have any. And which ones have you got? That'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's really interesting, the euro coin. And in fact, April 1st, the euro coin was found in a grave in Greece and served as a model for the euro coin. That is actually really interesting. Because even if we thought with all the biometric metals, it was they've been out a long time with other countries before the biometric coins came in. United Kingdom won 5 in 1831. I've got, I'll show you in a minute. I'm pretty sure I had more of these. I don't know why I got that one out first. I'm pretty sure I had more coins. President granted the patent for the invention of we've already had that one. Romantic waves were a major part of the 1930 years. Oh, yes, 1830s. Oh, you ought to see Miss Seven Bell the other night. Oh, she was testing this sugar stuff out. She was laughing her little socks off. I have an 1831 William IV penny.
Oh, that's cool. Well, let's swing over to 1831, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
1830. We've done brilliantly on it.
There's different variants on the 1831. The one I have here.
Oh.
The one I have here. Well, that made me jump then. That did. Is what they call a W.W. And what that means is you can't see it on here. I got to find the W now. Hang on a minute. Let me just show you. I'll just show you the difference on here a minute, and you can see. 1831. 1 penny. Right, so with the William Wyon who designed the coin,
right?
There's 3 types of coins, and underneath the trunk of the coin here you'll have a WW. And that is with no initials. Yeah, if you got no initials on the coin, that's scarce. On the neck of the coin, there would be no initials, which is William Wyon, and that's a scarce one.
Yeah, this is the one I've got to show. Again, this is a U.S. one. 1831, 1 cent.
Just beautiful coins. They really are. Right, if you got the, if I show you here on this version, so you got the W, you got the dot just about there.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Here you have a W, you have a dot, W dot W. Okay. And that is also that's also scarce. The one I do have is this one. You'll have the W dot W type. And that could be up to the prices of these. And that's the one I have there, is the W dot W. And you can't see it because it's so tiny, but it'll be here. There's 806,400 he's made. So it's pretty lucky to get one of these. And the other coin I have, let me just flick over to make sure get the information correctly.
Yeah. You see that Broughton suspension bridge over the River Irwell in England collapsed under marching troops in 1830. Can you imagine?
That is just, that would be absolutely nasty. Because that's down to the rhythm of the bridge, like the New Millennium Bridge. Mm-hmm. They can't march in order because it makes vibration. Right. I have to look really hard to see if I have any.
I see a charter for a railway was issued from La Prairie, Quebec to Saint John in 1831.
Wow.
1831 in Canada, male Jews were extended full political and religious rights.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I think everybody should have rights if you're supporting a country, you know. 1831, I think, is it farming?
Yeah. African Canadians were protesting at the same time about voting rights, although those rights weren't granted for them until 7 years later. Unbelievable.
There it is. Right, let's just make sure. Right, I got the normal. This is the common one for 1831. And there's 4 variants. The one you're going to see now is this one. 1831, which is the same as that one. So Britannia at the back. I'm sorry about the lighting and the reflection of the flip. So the other variant, I mean, it's just, yeah, 2,688,000. They weigh between 4.6 and 4.9 grams, and this is just the normal variant.
Right.
That's it. That is the one I have. I thought there was a couple more variants, but there isn't. But that's the one I have anyway. I reckon that's pretty cool. So if you think about it, it's like 2022. It's also 171 years old.
Wow.
I mean, it's still in good condition, really. The price of these are around £4 to, I don't know, £60, £70 maybe. I wouldn't say it's the, I mean, for its age, you can still read everything perfectly. 18, I mean, I wish I can get out. I don't want to get out of the flip, but. But I'm really happy I got that W.W one though. When you see it underneath, you can see it really clearly. Actually, what if I can do it this way? There we go. Actually, if I can you look at this way?
Cannot see anything yet.
No, I'm just trying to line myself up. Let's get used to my camera. Hold that there. Let me just play my camera a minute.
Okay, I'm seeing something there. Yeah, the edge.
Go to the right. You see the W.W just about. Get the camera higher. Go to the right.
Oh, you almost got it. Well, if you can't find it, you're pretty good at signaling passing aircraft.
There you go. There's the W.W just there.
There, yes.
Everything's backwards to me right now, so.
Don't say that in front of Zoe.
And let's just show you this one. This is the. Oh, come on. Let's just zoom out. It might be too much zoom. Used to call people together. I figured you could use it together. So this is a farthing.
Yeah.
I'll say 34 farthing. Hang on. There you go. There's a 1 penny again. So might have had too much zoom in there.
Oh, right there. Oh, just about.
Down a little bit. That bloody light just made in. Let's turn this around. Oh my God.
You know, at least you tried.
there. I'm trying.
That's all you can do.
And that's the farthing there, 31. So yeah, I've only got one coin left to show. 15th volcanic, July the 15th, the volcanic Graham Island briefly emerges in the Mediterranean. 7th November, state of Grand Company disbands. Leopold de Saxe-Coburg of integrated as the first king of Belgium in Brussels. Bang. 18th Ecuador, Venezuela separated the Greater from Colombia. The Dutch 10 days campaign against Belgium is halted by the French army. Louisiana, a Arkansas of the first state is observed as a Christmas holiday. Oh, okay. August the 7th.
Do you realize how much money that would be? First U.S. bank robbery was in 1851. Sorry, 1831. In 1831, they robbed $245,000.
Was that the Younger Gang?
No, I don't think so. 1831 is quite a ways back.
Because they robbed the bank. Oh yeah, okay.
Someone want to Google that and find out who were the bank robbers for that 1831 bank robbery, because that's quite a ways ago.
Do you know where it was?
New York, Citibank of New York.
Oh yeah. Okay, $245,000
in 1831 currency. Holy crap!
That's £52 million. $52 million. Sorry. Murray and Honeyman, who used both Smith and Jones, alias of $60,000 before they were caught. Murray fled to Philadelphia, while Honeyman remained in New York under the alias. Both were captured, convicted, and both sentenced for 5 years in the Sing Sing prison.
5 years. That's it. 5 years.
5 years. $52 million in today's money.
And all they got was 5 years for it.
You get more now for nicking a packet of sweets. The stolen money was never recovered. The New York Connolly's Ira Bridewell prison, the authorities recovered 57,320 of the city banknotes, 501,118 in various city notes, 44,000 Langsborough banknotes, a bank in Lanesborough, New York, 20,000 notes issued by the Morris Canal, 8,272 uncurrent belongings to S&M Allen, and $40 worth of counterfeit notes. 63,000 money was recovered, but the sum that included the 398 free doublings. Wow.
That's insane. Oh, 1831, the London Bridge opens to traffic. That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Do you know, that's a really interesting read.
(1831) Belgium gains independence from the Netherlands. Leopold I was made king. Leopold I. There's a man that goes down in infamy.
Yeah.
What he did to the Belgian Congo was a deplorable thing.
Yeah, second king of Belgium. First king of Belgium, Leopold I. Um,
It's
just
interesting
reading
how
the
those
map,
weather
actually.
incidents come up all the time. Ending of the First Anglo-Ashanti War. Was that the first Boer War? No, I don't think so.
No, I
But
think
the
it's a little
first
bit
Boer
later.
War was in and around that time, though.
The first Boer War was 1880 to 1881.
Okay, later on.
Yeah, which didn't go too well. 16th of December 1880, 21st of March 1881.
Robert says has a Portugal 40 reis for 1831.
Nice.
Again, I put the link in the chat, guys, if you ever want to come up and show us your coins.
Yeah, I'm going to get up my Boer War photos when it comes around. 1899, that is, though. It's later on. Got a while to go yet.
I can't blame the coal miners in Wales for rioting and picketing for better working conditions, because conditions they worked in were deplorable.
They were. The tin and slate mines were disgusting. If you ever come to England, there's actually a really cool cave you can go in the mines that you can slide down all the netting and everything. It's like a big bouncy castle, but it's done with all netting. You're actually middle of the cave itself,
Right?
and then you can go across the slate mines at nearly 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
Um, Images. There you go. She actually suspended in midair.
Oh, wow.
It's huge. Actually, it's like a big spider's web. You go up
Yeah.
and down in the chutes and stuff. You bounce across like in midair, and you just go down these little holes, and you slide all the way down to the next level. There you go, like that. I don't know if you can see that very well. I can see some people there. So the bottom of the cave, it's about 100 foot to the bottom of the cave itself. So you're actually suspended in midair, literally. It's like a little museum, isn't it? So there you go.
Can anybody here tell me what's familiar about that last name? Leopold of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha is inaugurated as the first king of the Belgians in Brussels. Yeah, we knew he was. This came up before, but his family name. Who belongs to that lineage? Anybody? Oh,
Um,
Dale's starting to smoke here, thinking, okay,
Leopold of Saxe, the Kohlberg Gotha.
yeah, it's the Windsors.
Really?
That's their original name. That's what Queen Victoria was, a Saxe-Coburg.
Oh, do you know what? I actually didn't honestly know that.
Yeah, they're all rated.
I know they're all related with the Germans and whatever, you know, from all over the place, because they call World War One the War of Five Kings, basically. But I didn't know the Coburg Gotha was related to the Windsors.
Oh,
I know
absolutely. They changed their name from Saxe-Coburg.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I know they changed the name from something to make it more British.
That's exactly why. Yeah.
Ecuador and Venezuela separated from the Greater Colombia. Okay. Yeah, because they do their Yeah, I thought they were Hanovers. That's the one. I thought they were actually Hanovers.
Nope.
Or did they change the name to? I thought. Do you know what? That's actually threw me off now. Actually, I'm gonna just write that one down.
Yeah.
Saxa Gotha. Right. Princess Augusta of Saxe-Gotha.
That's the last thing you want to hear about is another cholera epidemic in the UK.
Yeah. The House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha's European house takes the name from the oldest domain of the embassy Duchy of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. It was members of the thrones. Ernest Duke of Saxe. Oh yeah, because one of the kings or queens or queen regents was Dutch. Something of Orange, they called it, or called him. I can't remember, or her. I can't remember which one it was. So it must have come down that lineage that way.
Mm-hmm.
Saxe-Coburg government, Portugal, Belgium, House of Wettin, and they changed cadet branch as Windsor, United Kingdom. Right, see ya. Do you know what? That is really interesting.
I know.
I've always thought they were Hanovers. William of Orange, yeah, William of Orange. That is, so it's all tied in. It's all tied in. Because a lot of them didn't marry for love; they married for territory. You know, for
My understanding is Darwin's job on the Beagle was as a dinner companion to the captain. Well, it gave him some intellectual conversation. I'm sure they argued about a few things. Wow. Guys, that's pretty powerful for 1831. I think we're going to move on to 1832 before I run out of room on my paper. Robert, your fingers must hurt. The amount of information he's providing us is unbelievable.
Do you know, it all ties in, ran so far away. I mean, it's so complicated, but yeah, the Princess Albert of Saxe-Coburg, Gotha. It is because when I can't remember which king died, it was so awkward. If you look at how Queen Victoria got into her reign, was not an easy task, because I think it was the first cousin was rightful king, but he died of something, and then somebody else. She was like 7th or 8th in line or something. Right, the House of Windsor is the reigning royal house of the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth in 1901. The line of House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, itself is a cadet branch of House of Wettin, succeeded the House of Andover, British monarchy, with the accession of King Edward VII, the son of Queen Victoria. Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg Gotha in the 19th century was the British House's charge of the German Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to the English Windsor, because anti-German settlement into the United Kingdom of
Exactly.
World War I. My goodness me.
There you go. And we're getting on to 1832.
Beautiful coins.
Beautiful coins. Yes, 1832. Imagine being around when that was in general circulation. You wouldn't be around now. Either that or you would be the oldest person on the planet.
That's not technically true, actually, ran so far away, because the princesses that were killed in the Tower of London, the oldest son would have been 10.
I know.
And Richard II defeated
Robert's on board here. He's going to show us something.
These are 1831 because I was a bit trying to get them. Oops.
Oh, that's your 1831.
Yeah. I think that's a half penny.
Oh, nice. Yeah, who did Richard defeat in the house in the War of the Roses?
This is a penny. Oh, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see them through the capsules, but
yeah.
Do you know?
Oh, and someone hold it for you. I got so many of my older coins are that way now.
Can you see it now? Oh, Christ, it's really hard to hold. Can you see it now?
The light behind it is shining through.
Actually, the light shines right in the hole.
That was perfect. It's like an eclipse.
Is that better? Oops.
If you have a look underneath the trunk of William the Fourth, there, it should give you a WW, non-WW, or a .WW. Something like Morse code. Then
it's really hard to hold. I shine.
And because of the actual the copper, the coin doesn't really help either. Charles Darwin and Bucks from Plymouth for the HMS Beagle. Yeah.
I'll be able to see this one. I know it's in the capsule.
Silver. Greece becomes
1931.
independent where Bolivia is chosen. What's that
Can
one
you
there?
see it? It's a sixpence.
Oh, so that's 925 silver then.
Yeah. I can't believe it. 1831.
Nice.
For holding
need to come up-
goes out of focus.
We need to come up with a device that will hold our coins for videos so that,
Yeah.
it doesn't catch us shaking and
Thank
Yeah.
you.
zero in. I have that same problem all the time.
I'm
I can always
going
ask
up.
Zoe to do it.
I'll
Babe,
see.
you love me.
I tried holding mine with calipers, but it didn't work.
Yeah, Richard became king because he defeated King Richard II. Because the Stuarts are older than the Windsors. So they're the
Yeah, I'll
oldest
say.
actual lineage. Or King Richard III, I should say.
Or the roses. No.
18. He defeated. That is why there's a break in the lineage. Because as we were saying the other week about Mark Hastings being the true king of England, and that's I can't remember which battle it was now, but he's talking about since 1066, and when Richard, the princes in the tower, the twins, and a mysterious disappearance, and King Richard was their uncle. That's when the line broke from the real lineage, because he was the last king of England to actually take the kingdom by force. So it's not from. No, Richard Lionheart. He was killed in France. He's actually buried in France. In fact, he's all over the place.
Yeah. Joseph Smith probably wouldn't have been tarred and feathered if he hadn't been showing off all his wives. Get a bunch of guys that don't have any wives, and this guy walks up with like 20 of them.
That was evil. The old tar and feathers.
It would have been awful. I don't know what it was about William Lyon Mackenzie back in those days, 1832.
Yeah, I think it was the Second Crusade. I think it was.
Let's see. William Lyon Mackenzie was readmitted to the Legislative Assembly after being expelled, and then he had an assassination attempt in Hamilton, Ontario. The Bank of Nova Scotia is founded, and then they had election riots in Montreal. 3 supporters of the Daniel Tracy of the Parti Patriot, which we've talked about before, are shot dead by government troops. Again, that party is upset because there wasn't enough French representation. Colonel McIntosh and Captain Temple were arrested for ordering the shooting. The next day, it's announced that Tracy is elected to the Legislative Assembly for Montreal West. Isn't that interesting? The immigration ship, the Carrick, arrived in Quebec filled with Irish immigrants.
Okay.
A few of these immigrants are ill with cholera, which becomes an epidemic in Lower Canada and Upper Canada.
Oh.
And 88 deaths were reported. Deaths were reported in Montreal from cholera. Now, keeping in mind it's 1832, that's still pre potato famine. So these are early Irish immigrants that came to Canada.
Yeah, these are really. They was on the. These are very, very, very. This is way before the open races and stuff like that. You know,
Mhm.
this is. State legislature making a oldest continuous day in
My Lord, right?
like Scottish merch. That's interesting. What year are we on? 1832.
1832. Hey, cool. The Egyptians, aided by the Marionettes or Marionites, seized Acre from the Ottoman Empire after a 7-month siege. Acre is also pronounced Akko, and it's on the Mediterranean Sea in Israel, at present-day Israel. It was also one of the main sites for the temple, the Knights Templar. So a lot of history going on there. I can't believe the Egyptians went that far, because that's quite a ways from Egypt.
Yeah, they didn't really travel far, the Egyptians, because they were more interested in defending their own
Pretty well.
territory up and down the Nile. I think when the Nile started drying out, you know, because obviously it was a lot bigger, more flourishy back in the early days. You know, they started to travel off.
Yeah, I can think of doing
That's where
that,
the
tarring and feathering to Putin. Sorry, keep that out of there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Skip. I was just going to say the Templars and the Hospitalitars. That's where the word hospital come from, because they were basically field medics, early field medics. They wore the black cross, the Hospitaliers for the Knights Templar. I think there was 4 types of Templars. There was the red ones were unmarried men and believed in, you know, the Catholic. The
Celibate?
blue, yeah, the blue they were married, because they were married, or they were people over 25 and then bought in from the Templar to obviously gain numbers. The black ones were the Hospitaliers, and there was another color, and they were married men, but they had to get permission from their wives to join the Knights Templar.
No way.
No, that's right. They weren't real fighters. They tended. That's where the word hospitalia, hospital, comes from. One of my favorite subjects is the Knights Templar.
Here's a geography one for you. Philip says, July 13th, 1832, the source of the Mississippi River was discovered by American geographer Henry Schoolcraft. Where is the source of the Mississippi River?
The source of the Mississippi River. Is that through? Oh my gosh. Is it through Tennessee? Down through Mississippi?
You got to go further north if you're going for the source.
Oh, is that the Great North River you got in Canada?
Great
Comes all
North
the way down.
River.
I can't remember what it's called. You got a massive, huge river up there, and oh my word. It can be linked. Oh, man, I wish I can think straight.
The source of the Mississippi River is Lake Itasca. Itasca. Now, remember, the Mississippi is the second longest river in North America, and it flows 2,350 miles
Yeah.
through the center of continental United States to the Gulf of Mexico. It's a big river.
That is one huge river.
Yeah,
Because
it's caused a lot of problems with flooding.
Mississippi, does it go through? I'm just trying to think now. I know it goes through another state as well, doesn't it? Down to New Mexico.
Yeah. You got the lake is in Minnesota.
Okay. So it's up there
Yeah, it's north.
on the border of Canada, and it comes down.
They do have tributaries that come out that join that actually come from Canada, but they consider the lake as being the primary source of the river.
That's down to the flow of the
Right to the Gulf of Mexico.
Because I said you can actually travel if you really wanted to. You can actually travel up through the river.
And it was a major source of travel, especially during the 1800s. Very cool. Robert's like a walking encyclopedia of information.
Ontario begins down the Canada Shield, mostly genuses and marble. Wow. I like reading behind the headlines, you know, learning about it a bit more. I mean, things like you know or you don't. It's nice to learn things that you don't know about, or try to refresh on stuff you do know about. Like, you know, jogs your memory a little bit.
I mean, it's one thing. It's typical of when you go to school. You go to school and you only learn a small amount of the facts, and there's so much stuff that's buried there that contributes to information. You know, your history and whatnot. It really opens your eyes to see how much what really did go on. Some guy was carrying some of that change in his pocket out there.
Exactly. George Catlin starts to live among the Sioux in Dakota. I heard about that. Because the Sioux is the ones who killed Custer, Crazy Horse and Crazy Horse,
Sitting Bull,
and
Geronimo,
Dromino, and what's her name?
You thinking of Crazy Horse?
Crazy Horse. Did I say Crazy Horse? Or was I right?
I think you did. I think you did.
The Cumberland Oxford Canal connects the largest lakes in southern Maine. Seaport of Portland, Maine. Wow. Global Watch brand among these are founded in Switzerland. Publication of the I don't know, I can't see that one. Missed it. I missed it. The first communicated DC electric motors, cabling, turning machinery is demonstrated by William Sturgeon in London.
Again, I'm really enjoying this period in time because you can see the Industrial Revolution really kickstarting.
Yeah, you can see things are going off from being war type into development. You know, people having careers rather than soldiering,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, you know, a lot of it was down to either, you know, you either farmed or you become a soldier, basically. You know, that's, or a outlaw or something. Heath, I've talked to a lot of voters here in my. Who's that from? A waterway to come up from Florida, heading north, then heading west, the Great Lakes, then Mississippi, back to the Gulf.
That would be quite the adventure.
Mm.
In this day and age of using GPS, I wonder if a lot of these sport sailors get out there with their nautical maps and try to steer through these different lakes and rivers to make sure they can make a connection. The last thing you want to do is have a fair sized boat and find out that you have to do a portage, which would not be very cool.
No. Actually, not so long ago, there was a competition between a 4-man rowing and a 2-man rowing around Great Britain, and obviously going back in the day, they only had wooden boats. They didn't have GPS. They didn't really know how Great Britain looked like, and they wanted to map what it looked like. You know, they thought it was only going to be. And do you imagine how bad the swells was coming off the North Sea and all that round there?
Yeah.
They didn't have any life. They didn't have any kind of boats following them to make sure they're okay. And they actually did it quicker than the modern day boats with GPS. It took the crews almost like just under 2 months to go around the whole of Great Britain. But in modern day boats with GPS, and the 4-man boats just did it over 2 months.
Wow.
So they still didn't actually beat the wooden ones. It proves how fit these people were back in the day to go around the swells and. But yeah, it was. Admittedly, there wasn't a lot of obviously going through the English Channel part was the most dangerous because it's a shipping lane today. And that's what they say they held them up because the waves were knocking the boats. Where back in them days there was no traffic, so to speak. You know, there was no turbine engines running up the boats. But apparently, but they still did it. You know, fair play to them, it's still accomplished, but they still didn't beat the early day explorations, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on to 1833, shall we? Well, after William Lyon Mackenzie's aborted assassination attempt and being entered into the legislature, they shipped him off to England, and in 1833 they allowed him back. So he came back to Canada, and not long after that, they ended up with a military riot in Montreal. In November of that year, they had meteor showers at Niagara Falls. Hey, that would have been a nice effect.
Oh, that was awesome.
Falls going over. And of course, they didn't have the handrails and all the fancy trappings we do now. So you'd be standing by the edge, hugging a tree, make sure you don't fall in while the meteors are coming down. That would be cool.
And that's a natural border for US and Canada, of course.
It is, yeah.
And that's actually interesting what I just missed it. Where is it? With the Falkland Islands, 1833. Look at that.
There we get our 1833 coin. Verse and reverse.
Oh, brother, they are looking good.
If I remember right, that's a 50 cent. Yeah, that's 50 cents.
$half.
Half dollar. Half dollar make you holla.
Toffee coins. There you go.
Welcome
there's
aboard,
the £3 million
brother. Maybe we can play some crib later. I don't own any coins ran so far away that are older. Well, no, I do have some ancients, but current ones, 1858, I think, is the oldest one I have. Most of my collection, of course, is Canadian, so I do have some U.S. stuff, but nothing spectacular.
On 6th of May, Alexandria, Virginia is attacked. Is made on U.S. President. Oh, wow. Britain's slavery abolition gains royal assent. Yep.
Poor Andrew Jackson. 2 terms as president, split between one other guy. He had to have been getting up in ages in years by then.
Is Miss Seven Bow still here?
Say what?
Miss Seven Bow, I thought she was still here, whacking out some history. EAC still here?
She was. I think Miss Seven Bell's just sitting back and watching and reading.
She's awesome. Yes, she is. I got a lot of respect.
She is. I enjoy watching her traveling through her bargain basement stores and chit chats.
Do you know what? I probably got some mating. Do you know what? I just realised what I got. I got an 18. I think it's a crown.
Ooh.
Not sure if I might even have a Morgan. I shall be back.
I'll be back, he says. I'll be back.
I got something here.
Oh, it's nice to have in your collection, though, Robert. 1833 Belgium, 10 centimes. Awesome.
Oh. Just for the record.
What do you got?
That's one of my Knights Templars coins.
Nice coin. What year was that commemorative out?
It doesn't really say. It just gives you the timeline of the Knights Templars. And it's too little for my bad eyes to see. Alrighty. Actually, oh,
You know, Heath Dottie, that's fine if you don't jump in and contribute. The whole thing here is you've got a lot of information flying by that you can read. and learn and get an idea of the history behind the coins we're showing, to know that so much went on during those years, that when we do get our coins, it's a bit of history. It's something that is very special to have.
So
Good bit of trivia there, Robert. Dubai gets independence from the United Kingdom and is founded as a city. Dubai was part of the United Kingdom. Boy, if only they knew about all the oil that was sitting underneath.
Yeah, if only they knew.
Yeah, Robert's very fast on the searches. He's like lightning fast.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know, I really want to get some Confederacy banknotes from that year.
Jason sent me one. So I have one Confederate bank, a genuine one, which is kind of one of my prized pieces.
Oh, it would be one of mine as well. I mean, he sent me quite a lot of stuff, Jason, and he's such a great guy. You know,
Yeah, on here, Robert, we're quite diverse, like anybody in the coin collecting community. Myself, of course, has started off with Canadian, mostly mint stuff, then went to the circulation, and then I got a keen interest in the U.S. stuff, and then all of a sudden, I natural progression, I ended up doing British. So now I'm constantly looking at trading British for Canadian, American for Canadian, and actually with our community, it's helped a lot, because it's a lot of these coins that you want in your collection to complete the sets. You got to know somebody, you know. So this community is great for that.
No, I got me 1923 peace dollar and me 1881 Morgan. Oh, it's a shame. 300 delegates in England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland travelled to the office of the Prime Minister, the Earl, to call immediate avalanche throughout the British Empire. Yep. And James D, May 25th, the Chilean Constitution of 1833 is promulgated. Ada Lovelace introduced Charles Babbage by Mary Somerville.
James D. Hi. We're still on 1833. We're quickly approaching 1834 here. I'll let you know in a sec. Yeah, got that one. Still 3 up on the board.
Yeah, so do I. I got loads and loads. I mean, I must have given away so many pre-decimal coins without even realizing it. Well, actually, what's this one here? think this is going to be about 1940, I should imagine. It's going to be 1940 something. That's 1943 half dollar. That's going to be 19.
Oh, that's cool, Robert.
$1939s.
Oh, it's always good to find silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taffy, I'll be on chat after this.
So 1833, 1833.
Yeah, God save the Tsar, all right. How did that work out? It is, Robert. When you start getting into the key dates, it starts getting a little bit pricey. Hey, guys, let's do 1834. We got a lot of information on 1830. As we progress through the years, you're going to notice that the amount of information that we're going to get hit with will increase exponentially because more people are writing stuff down. There's more in the news. Not just the wars that were recorded, but a whole bunch of different things. And I think Dale will agree with me there. It's nice when we get the information about other things besides warfare. We get enough of that these days.
Yeah, that's why I try and avoid warfare as much as possible. I know there's highlights in warfare, but we all know what's happened, and you know, it's
we're lucky we're in the early 1830s. We're getting into the Industrial Revolution. It's so much better. So
okay.
You got any 1834s? Oh, I'll focus you on there. Here we go. We'll bring up Solo.
So there's my 1834 farthing. I'm pretty sure I had another coin. I didn't. I just had three. So it's my 1834 farthing, and just almost 2 million of these made. I know you can't see it very well. I'm sorry, guys, but it's basically you have the rose, the shamrock, and the thistle at the bottom. There we go. It's actually it's better than it looks, to be honest. 1834. I think I showed it earlier. But that's a farthing anyway. At least we had a coin to share today, a few coins to share. And also from Robert as well. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's an 1834 US.
Oh, that looks so nice, man.
It's only a 1 cent, but hey,
Still pretty.
That one's in nice shape.
Just going to go down through some. Phenol was discovered in chemistry in 1834. Charles Babbage begins the concept design of the analytical engine, which is the algorithms today, the mechanical forerunner for the modern computer, which will be built, mechanics. Physics.
Yeah, those premiums do tend to scare a lot of us collectors away. Ran so far away.
What's that?
I was saying the prices went high crazy, but I'm more afraid of premium than spot prices. And of course, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see premiums in any local coin shop, or even if you're buying online, unless you know the dealer.
I'm quite lucky to get these silver grams for the same price that I've always got them. So, and because I've been with them a long time, I get like a little one for me, so for free. So.
1834, the king announced that he will not make the legislative council an elected body, as it would be inconsistent with the monarchy, but that he will favor measures for the council's independence. That's in Canada.
Much of the ancient structures of the Palace of Westminster Parliament in London is burnt down, yeah. Yeah, that's actually what you just said about Canada's to be with a monarchy is basically not being above, trying to keep everything equal.
Yeah.
The Exchequer has abolished the revenue collecting department, the British government, the office of recipient of the Exchequer.
That innovation of the corn planter was an amazing device.
Have you seen how they do it now? How they plant seeds and stuff?
Well, it's far better, but at the same rate, it's amazing to watch them.
Yeah, it's really, really clever. The trowel digs in and it makes like a groove, and they got this seed, I don't know, about 30 at a time. It drops seeds in, and then another piece comes along and folds it over like a pasty, basically. Yeah, and it already dug in without any kind of cultivation, like so it folds up like a half pipe.
Yeah.
It drops in about 10, 15 seeds in, and it folds itself over like a pancake sort of thing. They're like a Swiss roll or whatever you want to call it, and it's there already. And they've got tubes inside it, so it keeps the water. If there's no rain, it actually feeds water inside the soil at the same time. So they haven't got to rely on weather. It's done artificially. So it's really clever how they do it.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. EAC brought up about the Perkins invents an ether ice machine, a precursor to the modern refrigerator. Okay, ether again. It's using a chemical compound that evaporates, and it's the evaporation against the things like brass or copper that draws the heat out of the air. Yeah. And that's an amazing thing. I mean, we've made refrigerators at camp out of a simple bucket and some cheesecloth and a piece of wood and some rope, and it actually does work. Evaporation causes the air to get cold. So it's cool to see this in history that in 1834 they're coming up with ways to get away from the standard ice machine, even though it was used for years. I mean, I still remember seeing the ice boxes. The Iceman used to deliver the bloody thing. That really did I age myself? Oh man. Yeah, I remember when the guy brought the barrels of oil in and poured the oil and put the oil in the house. And we'd have to go down every day and fill the oil containers for our K-Max stove and our furnace. And it was gravity fed with a spring. You inverted it, and you lit. And by the time you got up in the morning, it was freezing. And everybody said, "Okay, whose turn is it?" Boy, look at today; it's so modern.
I remember the time. I mean, obviously, I remember the day I had to go out and go and shovel coal at the coal bunk.
Oh yeah,
Coal
same,
mine,
same.
in the little coal bunker and under the lid. And of course, having little hands and little arms, you can only get about 4 lumps of coal at the time, and get some firewood and chop some wood up. And in the summer, so you chopped as much wood as you can in the summer to put into the coal bunker. And because it was easier to mix the coal with the wood, it was like marinating the wood, as my dad would say. And because you only had little arms and little legs and little arms, you wasn't digging up as much to bring in. You know, bring more in. You don't need 2 lumps of coal. We need about 10. You know, you're just like, but I'm only 4. Went up in the snow, and that would heat the whole house back then.
Oh yeah.
All the water. And being the youngest, I was always in the last in the queue of everybody, so that was swimming everybody else's slime. Dad, Mum, Eddie, Robert, Leslie, Dawn, Leslie, and me.
A large prehistoric whale, Baleosaurus, is discovered in Eocene rock deposits. It is presumed to be a large reptile. Yes, and I think that's in Africa. I believe they found basically an area in the Sahara Desert where they had a whole bunch of these whales, these ancient whales. In fact, I remember seeing a documentary on it.
Yeah, the Earth was more or less, what is it? Is it 75% water today? It had to be almost 90% water. So, what is it called? You had the Pangea. You didn't have the
That's right. It was the supercontinent.
yeah, supercontinent called Pangeas. So and obviously you had the breakup of all the continents and stuff like that. So
yeah, the Whig Party name didn't last very long in the United States.
what?
The Whig Party. I believe the Whigs became the the Republican.
Right, okay, yeah, I've heard of the Whigs. Toronto incorporated William Lyon Mackenzie as its first mayor. Detect Dig Smile. How you doing? You got it is Detect Dig and Smiles in the house.
I see that. Welcome aboard.
The first railroad in the US completed in Pennsylvania, 225 meters long. I think that's still in use today, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing well, thank you. I had my 4th COVID vaccine. It's kind of hit me like this time. I was all right the first couple of days. Now it's just like I've done is sleep.
I've had 3. Tracy's had 2, but she doesn't get out as often as I do.
Robert, no.
Wow, we've gotten a lot of good information today.
Oh, there's the AC.
Yeah, already got that one. That's a good one. That one, got that one.
Has anybody seen it? I mean, I know Robert has, but I don't think many people have seen this coin actually. I'll find one.
Are you serious? The Spanish Inquisition, which began in the 15th century, is suppressed by royal decree, and it took them to 1834 to suppress it. That is really scary.
That is really 2002. There we go. There's a Charles Darwin £2 coin because they talk about Charles Darwin today.
Okay, those in chat, time out. That's where color quits here. Oh, I gotta look at that. That's a cool one.
Oh man, come on, StreamYards, be nice. Sorry, Skip.
What are you sorry for?
Focus on here.
Well, you know, it's a good thing I got cataracts. Okay. Coming to the end, guys.
Right.
Coming
I don't know
to
if
the
you agree with
end.
me, Skip. I'm going
So-
to send you a private message. If I can,
There's-
I don't know how to do it on here.
Okay, that one's already been done.
Oh, goodness me.
Unbelievable.
Well, I sent you a private message. I don't know if you agree with that.
Hold on.
Alan W, nice to see you.
Okay. We've gone.
Yes. It's not silver or anything. It's just a commemorative coin.
Yep.
I do have a black one as well. The Hospitalia coin. But if you ever look at the Exxon sign, or if you ever see the Exxon, which is part of the cross, because the Knights Templar is linked to the Freemasons, and can't remember how it goes now. The Exxon sign. If you X, I think it's 2 X's together, isn't it? The Exxon sign.
Well, folks, that was a really awesome session. By far, Robert, I've been tallying you. My arm's ready to fall off. You come in first, so you get first choice. EAC, you came in second, and basically you were basically tied with Farrup for the longest while. So Farrup is third. So you're the top three, and we'll just go 1, 2, 3. Robert, Evil Arch Conservative, and Farrup 45. And James, you came in late. You did really good. You just didn't have quite as many as the others that you kicked in there, only because you were late. But that was
fun.
That was a brilliant session. So
Appreciate
we're going to go into the bucket list here.
Yeah.
And this first one's coming out. This one's for Robert. Let's see what we can get here. There. If I can get a hold of it. Oh, I got a hold of it. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Robert, you're going to like this. That's silver. You got a 1966 Canadian $50. That's a sweet one, man.
That's a sweet year as well.
66 $50 Canadian.
That's when England won the World Cup.
So that's a hello. I guess you're gonna have to start collecting Canadian there, Robert, a little bit more. Okay, this one's for Evil Arch Conservative. Get something here. Get in there. Nope. Hold on. Move them up. I want to get something good here. And EAC gets, an older Canadian nickel, a 1956. 56 Canadian nickel.
Look at that.
That's a nice one to have. And let's see what for 45's got. 45 has got. What do we got here? Oh, oh, oh. Hello. A 1951 80% silver Canadian dime.
Nice.
Very nice.
Is that what they call? No, that's not the fish scale one, is it?
No, that's not a fish scale. Fish scale's prior to 1927 and back, if I'm right.
Oh, okay.
1921. I have to look at it again. It's been so long since I've looked at my own collection. Wow, guys, good coins tonight. And great information. You really, really did a great job of sharing with us. And there we go. We're back on here. Let's see. I've got one more session on Wednesday. So I'll have a live feed then. We'll do it again. And then, of course, we've got Thursday with Dale with Coin World UK and his battle chat, along with Saturday. So unfortunately, Saturday, Dale, I won't be able to join you on Saturday because I'm on a retreat, apparently.
He is. He's got something really important, fun to do, of course. And
and all we Canadian government's paying for it, so might as well go.
Yeah, enjoy yourself, exactly. You can always play it from your retreat if you're bored, but I doubt you will be. Have a lot more players come in. Let's get them all to sign up to YouTube.
I'll try and do an information video on part of it. Maybe show the lake and stuff. I'll put it on my other channel.
Or put it up on both.
Well, it won't be coin related, so I'll put it on After Service Adventures Canada. I'll put it on that one.
Yeah. If you check out my mail call for Numismaniac, I put both channels to his channel. One is called After Service Adventures. Obviously, Numismaniac is the other one. So if you've got more than one channel and I do a shout out for people, let me know so I can put all your channels into one thing. So if it helps grow both your channels, that's what I normally do.
Yeah. Have a good night, Ran, so far away. Thanks for joining us.
My link is just Coin World UK. I can't put a link in at the moment because I can't get to chat. So
see what I can do. Well, see if I can use my other machine here.
Ran, it's always awesome to talk to you, my friend. I love talking history with you. I can talk history all the time. History is everywhere. Thank you, Lady Braven. I appreciate that. She's posted my link for me. And
She's faster than me.
she's great. She is. Ferrari, of course, and EAC, Lady Braven. Heath, Start His Adventures, Marty's Nuts About Digging, Dimebag Darren, LNW, and of course, Robert's Coins Adventures, Ferrari P45, and then we have Miss Seven Bad as well. It's always great to see absolutely everyone, and thank you for supporting a great man and a great friend and an awesome collector, of course.
Yeah, the joy of collecting.
Leave me a message, and I always reply to every comment I have. Just leave me a message in any video. I go through all my content and I reply to everybody. So that's my favorite parts to my videos is the comments. And I will always support you guys back.
No, Daniel, I'll have your address. Yeah, starting to get quite a stack of.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was nice having Robert come up too. It'd be nice. It would be lovely to have more people share the coins with us.
Yeah, I thought I'll put that in there. Like, if anybody's got any coins that they have in the years we do, that would be absolutely awesome to actually see real ones and what they're like. I need to replenish my pre-decimal coins. Getting to the years now where I can show a lot more coins, a lot more older ones, which I can't wait to do. You got a little while to go yet, and you skip 50, isn't it? 40?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
1850 is yours?
Yeah. Well, we're doing 1835 to 39 next.
So I might have about 4 coins to show next on Wednesday.
I'm getting so close to being able to show mine.
We're not going to let you yet because you're not independent more or less yet from our Royal Mint. You're still under the influence of the motherland.
You noticed. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what though, the old coins are just magic. When people say, "Oh, these British coins are really nice looking and they look amazing," if you notice, the details don't really change that much very often for the older coins, anyway. As when you go around the world, they seem to change quite often, especially the world coins I've been doing. I like the artwork, I like the history, and that's why I'm trying to clean up my channel a little bit. If you notice, I'm trying to put the flags in with the coins, so you can see the country they're from, rather than me seeing like my fingers doing this. I'm trying to tidy up a little bit, if that makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking too. I've got to come up with something like we have with our cell phones, like I'm using now. It grips it so it stays steady. It'd be nice to have something like caliper, only with a rubber grip, so it won't harm the coin, and hold it steady for you. Yeah,
like a pair of tweezers or something, or a pair of
tweezers.
Pliers, as you said, with like a rubber grip or a soft grip that just pinches it like that, but don't put any damage to. So you can just slide like a little slide. You can put into like a little, I don't know. You can make like a little plastic clip at the bottom so it don't roll, and you just glue it. So you can just sit the coin in like a stand. So like a little cradle, so to speak. I might make one of them.
Wait a minute. I think I can do like the ones I'm using to display my coins now. Why didn't I think of that?
Like a little cradle. You just get like a
Yeah,
little
like
bowl and then glue it. Stabilize.
So I throw everything off.
I mean, I got quite a lot
Like those things.
Yeah. Then all you have to do is lean it back a little bit, get one of these backings like this.
Yeah.
And then glue it underneath, and then you can put the coins in, and then you can display it. So it's
I have the display box. I'm not using. I hardly ever find to use it to store books. That's my box for taking photos.
okay. That's pretty cool.
So if I were to set that up in there, I'll work on that. See if I can make it so it's better.
See,
Because once I get into my own coins, I'd like to be able to show them a little bit better.
A small plate stand. Yeah.
Well, that's basically what those are.
Do you know I'm going to make one of them tomorrow? I think I've got something to make a stand out of. And what I'm going to do is get an old backing like one of these, but cut it across, and then just use it as like the backing so it don't fall out. And it don't reflect. And probably paint it black at the back so the paint don't hit the coin. And then it won't reflect so much light as well. When I used to use a black backing, it really reflected the light really took a toll on the coins. That's why I use a white backing, because the white sort of reflects the light better than the back where it absorbs it, and it don't show it very well, especially on the small size 5p coins. It is really hard to focus in because it just reflects back. It's got like they got like on the back of on the coins itself. It's like a honeycomb square pointed reflection. So when the light hits it, it's like 1,000 mirrors hitting you. If you put it on the white background, it doesn't reflect so much.
That's great. Well, my friend, I'm going to be wandering over to Discord here shortly. Okay. You want to meet up there, or you?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, you haven't been feeling well, so I'm absolutely impressed the fact that you've managed to get through this.
No, I enjoyed. I would never miss this unless it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely love being up here. It takes the mind off of it as well.
Yeah, so, it does. It does. It
certainly does. Company and.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Dale and I are signing off, and thank you for coming out, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday, guys. Wednesday. Look after yourself, everybody. Have a great whatever you're up to, and hope it's safe, and hope you're keeping well. And I don't know, I could add you on Discord, says Alan W. Take care, EAC, Alan W, He Stops Adventures, and Ferrari P45, Robert's Point Adventures, Miss Southern Bow, Lady Braven, and many others. Much love and respect to every single one of you.
Oh, you wonderful people out there. It is so good to have you here, da.
Anyway, Skipper, thank you for having me, sir. And I will see you very, very.
Take care, bro. Get well.
Thank you, brother. Good night, everybody.